Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to another episode of the Monie Podcast. I am your girl, Monie, and today we're going to be talking about dating. Listen, dating today feels like a full-time job. Ghosting, situationships, dating apps, commitment issues. And let's be honest, dating in Toronto has developed quite the reputation. But is dating really that bad? Or are we approaching love, maybe the wrong way? Today, I'm joined by founder of Shanny in the City, relationship expert, matchmaker, and someone passionate about helping singles find meaningful relationship. Today, we're going to be diving into modern dating, age gaps, dating apps, red flags, matchmaking, and whether real love still exists. Please help me welcome my guest today, Shannon Tebb. Hello, Shannon.
Hi, thank you, Monie, for having me.
Yes, thank you for taking the time to be here. I'm excited about our conversation because dating is something that, it's changed. It's not how it used to be. It's a whole different ball game. So before we get into some of, what dating is like now and so forth, I want to talk a little bit about you. So who is Shannon outside of matchmaking? Tell us a little bit about who you
So, I'm someone that's really passionate about health and wellness. I also love hosting social events for singles in Toronto. I've always been kind of that person that introduces people to people, kind of the social coordinator. And that's why through university, I studied sociology and anthropology. And I've always just been super into human connection. And
Yes,
one of my tips for singles is actually, talking to strangers more and being a little more friendly in Toronto. Bad reputation for being kind of snooty and cold. So I'm someone that really tries to push, talk to strangers, make that introduction, act like a tourist, and just be a little more friendly.
exactly. That's the key word. Be a little bit more friendly. It's just a little bit cold out there, Sometimes the approach is kind of hard. So be a little bit more friendly. What was your upbringing like?
So I grew up with a single mom and, my father passed away when I was young. And, I was able to see kind of what worked with dating, the relationships that worked, the ones that didn't. And I kind of had that hands-on experience. I grew up an only child until I was 13. And I was just kind of always that like older child sitting with my mom and her friends and talking about dating and just really loved relationships and seeing people fall in love and date.
Aw, that's such a nice little story. I like that. At a young age for you to really see that's something that you wanted to do. So what did you think you'd be doing professionally growing up? Is that what you wanted growing up? Did you think like a doctor, a nurse? Did you have those,
Yeah, I went to university for sociology and I wanted to be a social worker and just like help people with counseling. And a lot of people said, oh, that's too depressing for you, Shanny. So then, like in university, I was kind of the go-to girl for like dating advice and tips. And all of my tips and strategies kind of worked. So I was kind of like a natural at really helping people put their best date foot forward and really like, be less nervous when it comes to dating and just putting themselves out there. So I really loved kind of supporting singles through that and my friends. And some of the tips I gave to my friends, they're still with the same person, years ago that I kind of pushed them to ask the person out, and now they're married. So it's awesome just being a part of that.
Yes. Oh, wow. I love that. So you are the official matchmaker. Tell me a little bit more about what inspired you to just become a matchmaker. Because that's basically what you are, right?
Yes, yes. Our matchmaking is one of my my top services, and I also have like dating coaching and a wing woman service, but mostly matchmaking. People come to me that are looking for serious relationships. They've tried the online dating, they're feeling burnt out, they want confidentiality. So matchmaking is a way, I always say we have experts in every area of our life. We have personal trainers, finance people, people that, interior designers, but why not think of matters of the heart? Why not put our love life first? And sometimes you need some help kind of navigating modern dating. And that's when I come in and I'm able to introduce you to people that have been screened and vetted and are really looking for something serious like yourself. So when I do the matchmaking, I think about lifestyles. I think about, family dynamics. Do you both have children? Are you divorced? Have you experienced similar lifestyles? And also, what are your goals now? What are your values? And I try to match that. And also think about chemistry, because you can match on paper, Monie, but you got to have that fire in those parts. You got to have chemistry. And when you get the chemistry right and everything else kind of matches, those are the first date that lands to the second and the third and the continuing dating. Yeah.
It sounds so exciting. I think I'd have fun doing that.
It's so fun. I mean, it's hard, but like when you get it right, it's super fun because you feel like you're part of their little love story. And like I get excited hearing about how the date went, and they were both emailing me and letting me know, how it went and all like the juicy stuff.
Yeah. Oh man, I love that. That is something like that's a nice passionate career. Do you ever get invited to the weddings? Like when they finally make it to the altar, are they inviting you? Are you there?
Yes, and sometimes I'll get like a call out in a speech, and that's when I get like kind of shy because they'll be like, if it hadn't been for Shanny, we wouldn't have met, or I wouldn't have like asked him out to go for a drink. Yeah, one of my girlfriends, I was at her wedding, and she's still been with the same guy for 9 years. And we used to be waitresses together. And I said, just ask him out. He was a chef. And she, I gave her that extra push, and here we are, like, 9 years later, they're still married and happy with their dogs and loving life.
With their kids. Oh, wow. That is amazing. I love that.
Yeah.
What makes someone hire a matchmaker? Do you usually come to you and be like, I'm working too much, I can't get out, or I don't have the time? What's the main thing you find that they come to you and say, I got to hire you to really help me?
So, yeah, I would think, work-life balance. A lot of the singles I work with are, some are workaholics. They're in high level, executive positions. They don't have time to be swiping online, and definitely discretion. They want that privacy, and they don't want to be blasted online dating or see staff or people they know. A lot of them are in a public eye, and they want that privacy. And also they want to get closer to, finding someone that's been pre-screened and vetted, like I mentioned earlier, rather than, wasting time. The number one thing I hear is I'm not finding the quality matches, Shanny. So I really want to find someone, kind of in my even income bracket or lifestyle, that's more aligned.
Wow. They don't have the time. They just come to you and you do it. Oh, that is amazing.
I mean, it is an investment into your kind of lifestyle. And, this is why matchmakers, we don't, they charge higher fees because it is an investment and we are working really hard behind the scenes. And it's not an easy job. It's like everyone has certain preferences and things they're looking for. So we try to match that as best as we can.
Yeah. Is it just yourself, or you have a crew, a team?
Yeah. So right now I have a recruiter that's kind of, recruiting singles like through the back end of social media and stuff. I also have someone that helps me write the profiles and then I re-edit them. But mostly I'm the main matchmaker, the main dating coach. When you're like an entrepreneur, you kind of want to do everything yourself.
Hey, I know.
Yeah, but I also have a partner too, my good friend Deb. So we host social events together. So that kind of takes all the pressure off of me just showing up. We both kind of network and work the room together. So yeah, I'm very grateful that, I partnered up with some great people in the city, and we've built a nice reputation for people to come out and have a good time.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Shout out to the team. That sounds like a really good team that you have there.
Thank
I
you.
want to know, what's the biggest misconception people have about matchmaking?
So I would say that it's like a lot of like people, there used to be that stigma. Oh, is it all like, socially awkward people or losers, people that are just, don't know how to date or they're just lazy or whatever. But it's really the opposite. It's more professionals, people that, have everything going on in their life. They're financially secure, they have their condos, they got great friends, family, they make time for self-care, working out. And this is kind of the last missing piece of the puzzle is finding that person that can really add value to their life. It's not about finding someone to you know, like they say, in Jerry Maguire, I'm complete with you or whatever. It's less about that. It's more about adding someone to your already amazing life. Dating coach, I do try to teach people are you 100% date ready? Are you living your best life in all areas of your lifestyle? Financially, are you making time for self-care? Are you doing the things that are going to make you show up even better in that next relationship? So I feel like you really have to do that work behind the scenes before you even start dating.
Yeah. That's key. I like those questions. Before you even waste your time, you find them a match and they're like, yeah, I don't think I'm ready. And you do all that work. It's best to make sure they are ready. Are you ready for this? Is it the right thing?
Yeah. And have you healed from a past breakup?
Exactly.
Right?
That's it. That's the one.
Yeah, made time for healing, made time to rediscover yourself after a divorce. Like so many people I work with were married for 25 years and now they're like, Shanny, where do I start? Right. So the whole modern dating has changed back when we were in high school and, married your high school sweetheart. It's a lot different now. So that's why I think, matchmaking and dating coaching is getting more popular.
Yeah, it makes it easier. I like that. It's very much true. We got to talk about Toronto. Let's get into Toronto because I don't know what's going on, but why does Toronto have such a bad dating reputation?
Well, I think it's people so the men aren't approaching women like they used to because they fear rejection or they don't want to be aggressive or come across creepy. And then there's women that are still like, I want a man to chase me, to court me and hunt me down. So really, both, men and women are doing nothing. So they this stalling of, even connecting, human connecting one-on-one because both people are being stubborn, right? There's fear, rejection, then there's, I want to be chased. So as a dating coach, I'm teaching women to signal that, hey, I'm friendly. It's okay to approach me. Come on over.
Yes.
So we have to be doing that to men. We have to be striking up conversations. We have to be aggressive and make that move and not just wait for it to happen like you see it in the movies. It's like you cross someone on a street, you look, and then it's a missed opportunity. You get on the bus. You're like, wow, I should have said something. But
exactly.
Or you're talking to someone at a party and it's going great, but did you get their contact?
Yes.
No. Well, that's a missed opportunity. You may never see that person again. So get their contact, follow them on Insta, be like, hey, are you on WhatsApp? Let's, maybe we can.
Good connection. Yes.
Utilize all of those, feelings, run with your feelings and take that charge, right?
Yeah. That's true. That's true. Don't let that opportunity go by because I have a lot of girlfriends that say I met this nice guy today. Oh my gosh, he was so nice. He was this. And I'm just like, all right, so you got the digits? They're like, oh.
And he probably, maybe he thought, oh, she must be taken.
Exactly.
So yes, you really have to
use those opportunities, which leads me to ask, do you think people are too picky?
Yeah.
Primarily females. Do you think they're too picky?
Yes, I think because of the proxy of choice that you have on online dating sites and everyone's swiping for that next best thing, it becomes an addiction. It's almost like going into an ice cream store and you see
different flavors
and you can't decide. And then you go down to 5 and then 3 and then 2. And that, that fourth flavor could have been the one, right? You just said no and went for that one. So I think so with matchmaking, it's less about throwing 10 profiles at you and more about just doing one match at a time, one opportunity, giving the person a fair chance, getting out in front of them and seeing if you guys connect. So yes, people are pickier. They know what they want. There's this thing called intentional dating, not wasting time.
It's the time.
The time is people's personal time is so important, and I understand that. But I think we also have to not cancel people out too early, because that's what's happening. It's like, no, no, no. It's like, because, maybe he didn't have nice shoes, or, maybe his style wasn't amazing. Well, those things you can tweak and fix. Like
Yes.
that doesn't matter for long-term compatibility in the
That's
end.
true.
Right?
That's true.
So ask yourself, are the things I'm looking for, the partner preferences, is that long-term compatibility, or is it just me being kind of like, what's sorry, I can't think of the word, but like just being too like worried about looks and superficial things, right? Yeah.
It's true. It's true. It's intentional dating. All my girlfriends right now, it's intentional dating. They're like, listen, I'm not dating no one, and it's just not going to lead to nothing. We're dating for either we're going to get married, or
Yep.
this is going to be the one. We ain't got no time to date just for dating.
And people are upfront about what they want, right, Monie? Like
Yes.
they're being straight up like, hey, I'm not looking for something casual. I want to learn long-term relationship. I do want to have children. And I'm not saying you have to drop that all on the first date. That's a lot of information. But eventually you're going to have those chats second, third, fourth date to make sure that you're aligned and you're not wasting time.
Exactly. Exactly. It's true. It's all about intentional dating, especially with age. A lot of dating right now are people that I see in their 30s or 40s. And at that age, at that stage, you can't be wasting.
100%. And like people have like what I've seen is that, people are having children and getting married later in life because
Yes.
they focused on schooling and education and building careers and getting their homes and condos. And they're like, wow, Shanny, I have everything. And I thought it would just happen. And here I am, 38, single. And like, what happened? I didn't meet the guy yet. Like this is, I'm getting a lot of 30s and a lot of 50s divorcees, right? That's kind of the bulk of my demographic.
Oh, it's sad, but it's true.
Yeah.
Sad, but true. Are dating apps ruining dating culture? Would you say? A lot of people, I have my girlfriend just recently joined a dating app. She's just putting herself out there, and she started to go on the apps. I'm like, start small. And she said, I'm going to go on the apps. Would you say dating apps are ruining dating culture?
I think they're ruining that I think they have impacted the way people, engage with other humans, and like I said, talking to strangers and putting themselves out there. They think, oh, I'll just go on my phone and swipe. Like it's almost at someone's fingertips that like
Exactly.
access to, that quick fix, when it's like you need to be doing the work. Like if you're sitting at a bar, you're having a salad, you're having a glass of wine, and there's a guy next to you and you're both on your phones, like that guy could be single. That could be a missed opportunity right there. So I think rather than relying on technology and like apps, we have to do the work in real life. We have to join community events, expand our hobbies and interests. Like not everything has to be in bars and restaurants, but like join a running club. Like think about, am I gonna, move my body this summer? Maybe it's going solo travel groups, right? Where you're gonna meet other people that are in the same kind of situation you are, and then you're building friendships. You're meeting other singles, and now you're not going out alone.
I like that. You got to do the work in real life.
Yeah,
have to do the work in real life. So just speaking to her, some of the things she said is these guys are just so fast on the dating app. They're just like, yeah, you want to meet? And she's like, hello. We just matched. Let's get the time to know each other. And they're like, we matched. What's the problem? Let's meet. Where do you live? Let's go out. And she's just like,
it's too soon.
It's too bad.
Yeah. So you have to be, that element of safety and, chatting a little bit with them first, then you can move to WhatsApp, and then maybe even having like a phone call or even a video
gradually. Yeah.
Because there's a lot of gaslighting going on where some profiles aren't even real, and the pictures, they're not even who they say they are. So you have to kind of if you're not working with a matchmaker, you have to do that pre-screening and vetting yourself, and always let a girlfriend know, or, if it's a guy too, like, let people know where you're meeting in a public place. Never get picked up. Never give them your address for the Uber. Just be like, yeah, I'll meet you there, and let people know where you're going. So of safety. The minute something doesn't feel right, trust your gut, intuition, and just be like, hey, I know we match, but like, maybe just say you've met somebody else so you can just get rid of him.
Get rid of them. That's true. Yeah. Trust that instinct. And she's been using hers wisely. The gentleman, he just kept pressuring us, just like, where do you live? I can pick you up. And she's like, why don't we just meet after work at this place? And she's trying to pick these little public spots. And he was just like, no. So he basically just locked her off.
And just yeah, even just communicating and saying, hey, like, I just don't feel comfortable with that right away, but I'm open to doing this, meeting for a coffee, going for a walk, or
exactly,
something else. So you're giving other options, and you're not, it's not just ending, but
yes. Yeah. What apps do you think are the best ones right now? What are the top dating apps, would you say?
So a lot of people are having success on Hinge because, you have that, like, those questions that are like, kind of fun and flirty, and like you can, answer them, and they're kind of like a good kind of icebreaker.
Yeah.
Also for older people, for like people in their 50s and 60s, I always say like Match.com. There's Raya, which is kind of more elite. I think you have to like, sign up and like get someone else has to be on that in order for you to go on.
Oh,
but yeah, you have to kind of know somebody, and then you're on a list. But really, yeah, like I've heard of like Hinge, Bumble. But really, I don't think it's important to go on all at once because you can get overwhelmed.
Yes.
So instead, like I like your advice, even Monie, how you said, start small, like start slow and just pick one app that you feel comfortable with. And if it's not going well on Bumble, then you can maybe like, pause your profile and try Hinge. And another tip is like to let somebody look at your profile, whether it's a friend, family member, or a date. Some pictures are too close. You have like nose hair sticking out, like things that you think women are seeing, right? So it looks like, oh, maybe he's unpolished, or she's having all her girlfriends in the picture. Yeah. We're looking at Susie and Jessica and not looking at you. So this is your profile. This is you representing your best self. Choose lifestyle photos that showcase your hobbies and interests, less selfies and duck lips, and more about just smiling, showing your teeth, like showing there's an element of friendliness too. This isn't a modeling shoot. This is like life.
Yes. And she did that. When she was creating her profile, she sent me 2 photos. She's like, which picture do you like? And at first I didn't know what it was for. And I picked one. I was like, this is that. She's like, good. I'm setting up a dating profile. So that one's good, eh? I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, well, yeah, that one works fine. So she really took my input, seriously and went with it. And she's like, yep. So that's a good suggestion, to have someone really look at your profile, look at your photos, and kind of help you fix your profile before it goes public. And everybody starts to come.
It's a lot to think about too. And you want to, like put your best version forward. Your friends know you best. So why not ask to take a look?
Exactly. What's some of the biggest complaints that you have from women when you're trying to do the matchmaking for them, and also for men? Tell me the complaints you have from the women and from the men.
So I think when people are out on the date, sometimes the men get nervous and they just talk about themselves the whole time, especially about work. So the number one thing I hear from women is like, well, he didn't ask me any questions about myself, or, he didn't really ask me about himself. He talked about himself the whole time. So there has to be that level of curiosity. So in be interesting, you have to be interested in that person. So it's a simple tip. Be interesting to be interested, right? So if you're not curious about who's in front of you, it's going to lay flat and it's going to be boring. If you're just asking people simple things like, where'd you grow up? What do you do for work? That's going to feel like an interview. So there has to be an element of connection where you're storytelling, you're sharing perspectives, you're talking about experiences or things that happened, right? That's where people are close to you. So I think that's another thing. Sometimes they'll say, well, I don't know how the person felt after the date. Do they want to see me again? So I also think it's important to communicate that you had a good time. Like, hey, I really enjoyed, not that you have to plan the second date, that first date at the end, but there has to be some element of, yeah, this was really fun. Let's do it again. I'll be in touch. Or like, yeah, like I had a really nice time, and complimenting. People
Each
don't
other.
compliment each other. If he shows up and he smells good, tell him. If the woman has beautiful hair and a nice smile, let her know. More comfortable giving compliments. That's it. Because that's going to create more closeness and bonding, and you're going to want more of that person.
I love that. I hope my listeners, viewers, you're taking notes. Take some
Lots
notes
of free
again.
tips today.
We got Shanny in the city. We're speaking about dating in Toronto, your dating life. Let's get serious on it. So these are some good tips that you're dropping. I'm here making some little sad notes as well. Would you say that people are dating for fun or dating intentionally? Which is the most that you see? Are they dating just for fun or just like?
Well, I mean, there's definitely the people that are utilizing matchmaking services are dating with an end goal. They want to get married and have kids. But I think like there was a stat that came out with online dating that a lot of the people dating online are already in relationships or married and are just getting like seeing if, they can connect with someone and boost their ego. So we don't even know that like half the people online are single or in
Oh
relationships.
my gosh.
Yeah. So that's kind of tricky too, right? So, but of the people that say on their apps, looking to meet somebody, want a full relationship, those are the people you want to pay attention to. If it's just like looking to meet friends, casual dating, they may not really have an idea of what they want. And that could be kind of like you're wasting time. And I think you just have to be open and honest with what you're looking for in the beginning.
In the beginning, just upfront, say what it is that you're looking for. We ain't got no time to waste. Be intentional about your dating. Very, very important. What are some of the biggest red flags that you see on dating apps or any interaction?
I was on the Ben Mulrooney show and we talked about this in February. So the number one flag is, so a few red flags would be missing information, not really putting in the effort. They don't even have a bio. All you know is they're 20 kilometers away from you. And their name's Jesse. So it's like you have nothing to work with.
Nothing to go on, yeah.
Yeah. Also, like you said, like before, being too aggressive with the messaging, wanting to meet right away, not doing the video call. So there could be catfishing going on. And also, I would say, like too many selfies, too many like naked, shirts off, stuff like that. Just not really taking it serious.
Yeah.
And if, I would say those are kind of the red flags. And also not really, maybe they're talking too much and they're not putting a date plan in forward. So they're just kind of like wanting a pen pal. So that could be a time waster. Yeah.
A pen pal. Yeah. I like those.
Pen pal. Yeah.
Yeah. The red flags, those are sure.
Yeah, the red was like they're constantly, they're love bombing you too quickly. So they're like paying you tons of compliments and, I can't wait to meet you. And, all this stuff. And then you try to do a video call, but everything keeps getting pushed. Like, I couldn't do it. I was at work. So that's a lot of catfishing. That's a major red flag. If you haven't seen the person on a video call and you can't identify that this person, this human is actually alive and real, then you got to do your due diligence. That's important.
Cut that. Those are some red flags that I've seen. Oh, wow. Okay. It's good to know. Those are the official red flags. No.
I'm sure there's more, but I'm just trying to think of like the major ones.
The main ones. Yeah. Those for sure pop out. Those for sure. Have you ever seen a catfishing situation? Ever?
Well, yeah, I guess we all saw it on, Tinder swindler, all that on the Netflix shows. But yeah, I've heard of stories where people are on, they're on Bumble and like there's this really hot guy and they're like swiping and they connect, they're messaging, but then there's nothing coming back. So I do believe that some dating apps do have kind of like filler profiles. Because
Yes.
you see a couple good looking people, it's going to make you want to stay on longer and be like, oh, maybe I'll see someone who's also good looking and keep going and going. So that's where they kind of lure you in. So yeah, you have to really be able to identify kind of the real
Yeah.
well versus the filler ones. Yeah.
Excellent. Make sure, ladies, no catfishing. We're not allowing that. Let's talk about age gap relationships. I think it's like almost, I want to say, the new norm. I see a lot of older women dating younger men. Like, what are your thoughts on age gap relationships?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I mean, I have some clients that are like, oh, I only want to date a few years up or a few years down. But I have seen that there is a shift of like at least 10 years up or 10 years down. It all depends too if you want to have children. Like a lot of times my, guys in their 40s may want someone a bit younger if they want to have children. But yeah, like it's really less about like ageism and worrying about someone's age and more about the connection and the chemistry and the values. Because you can fall up with someone that's 20 years older than you, that's 5 years older than you. You just never know. But I think sometimes when we're too like restricted with like I'm 46, I only want to date up to 48. Well, you're missing like a great guy that could be 51 and active and amazing.
Yeah.
Stay and looking for a serious relationship. So try to give yourself at least 5 to 7 years. Even 10 is okay.
Okay.
Really, what are you comfortable with? Right? It's up to you. But I think like we shouldn't box it too narrow.
Narrow.
Do that and then they're single for another 5 years. They maybe that guy that you want that's 2 years older wants someone younger, so you're missing out on him. Like both sides have to match. That's the trick.
So we would say it's like a 10-year gap, like in terms of how big is too big.
I mean, the bigger gaps we know with celebrities are like 20 years. We had seen like a 40 and a 60-year-old before. But mostly with my matchmaking, I would say like 7 to 10 years would be the max. The most match within the 7-year age range.
Sure.
Yeah.
Pretty good. That's
then you can go up to 60 because you're more, but it's all about too. If you want to have children, like you're in your 30s,
that's true.
People close to your, early 40s. Yeah, there's lots to think about.
There. Yeah, that's the big one, especially women who are older dating younger men. They think like, maybe I don't want to have kids, but I find maybe the younger men, they want to have kids and they look at, okay, you're a bit older.
But I also have heard from like guys that are, in their 40s single that they almost appreciate an older woman too, because sometimes they feel like the younger women could be a bit more superficial or partying too much. And they want someone that's a little more mature and grounded and has stability. Yes. And then we also want to make sure that women are, celebrating their success and their great careers, but also not letting that career identify them in dating. And they hear from women, oh, that man's intimidated from me. I'm a doctor and all this stuff. When really, I don't think he's intimidated about your career, but maybe he's intimidated about how you're presenting yourself about it. So you want to really tap into your feminine energy when you're in dating and kind of leave your business work side, at the office. And when you're in your dating mode, being more in your feminine and flowing and like sweet and soft and, letting the man feel like you need him in some capacity. Because if you have all your stuff together and you're living your best life, that's great too. But then sometimes I hear from guys, I don't know where to fit in her world. She's got everything going on. So there has to be some element of surrendering and saying, hey, I do kind of need you around. I need you to do this, or I need your advice about this. I need your support, right? Hyper independence can also be paralyzing people from finding relationships because they've been alone and by themselves for so long. It gets really comfortable. So being aware of that and working towards being less hyper independent.
Do you find that it works, that type of older women, younger man gap, or younger women, older guy? Do you find that it works? You see like there?
I mean, it can if lifestyles are aligned. But I do think sometimes like the older men maybe that are looking for the younger ones, sometimes it's just, it's the physical thing, but they're not connecting on a mental or emotional level.
Yeah. Okay.
But when you're dating somebody, as long as you're, have all levels of intimacy, you got the physical, the mental, the emotional, the spiritual, you can talk about life together, your best friends. I think that's the basis for longevity.
Yeah. That's a big one. I have a friend that's dating a younger guy, and she's like, he makes me feel so young, so alive.
Fresh. Yeah. I mean, that's wonderful. Yes. I mean, it can make you feel young and alive and energized.
Yeah.
But also I actually had a story where a woman 40 dated a younger guy that was like 33, 34, but he couldn't put together a date plan. He was more like random, like, yeah, I'll see you soon, but then nothing would happen. So these younger guys, if you are dating an older woman, still put in that time and effort into date planning and seeing her so that you don't want to show up flaky.
Exactly. Make it work. I've seen it. It's the new thing right now. So
yeah,
you can do it. More power to you, because I've just noticed a lot of older women and they're just dating a younger guy. And they just seem happy and carefree and just like
they feel alive.
Like this is it. This is it for me right here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like
they make it work.
Yeah, the 40s are the new 20s, the 50s are the women are aging well, they're taking care of their bodies, so are men too, right? So it's less about someone's age and more just about the vibe and the vitality and the lifestyles and if you guys enjoy each other's company.
Exactly. That's the key thing. It's all about you. Don't let anyone else kind of, tell you it's not going to work. How quickly should someone define the relationship? Would you say? How quickly should we put a stamp on this?
Like, are we together? Like, going on? Yeah. So I call it like having the talk or the discussion. I think so. A lot of times people will date someone maybe twice a week. So 2, 4, 6, 8. So say you date someone like a month or two, that's almost like 12, 8, 9 dates. 10 days. I think that's when you should start having the chat. Right?
Okay.
I would say 5 to 8 dates. That's, you're spending time together.
Yeah.
Within the first to third month, you need to, like, you shouldn't be dating someone over 3 months and have no idea what.
That's it. Don't pass the 3 months. Don't pass 3 months. Yeah.
And Monie, I have a great tip for how do I find out the answer.
Yes.
So the tip is like, I've kind of paused. I'm not really, on Bumble, I kind of paused my account because, I'm just really enjoying getting to know you. And I like how like we're getting to know each other and I like your company. And I really just want to focus on, dating you. And I'm not sure, like, how do you feel about that? And then letting the guy talk too. And he'll probably say, oh yeah, I'm not on Bumble either. Like I've, taking it down, and then you kind of know, okay, we're together, we're dating, we're building something.
That's your answer right there. It's slick. It's a slick way.
Slick move.
It's slick.
Oh my God, my Bumble was blowing up the other day, but like I just deactivated it. Like I'm really not into like going out with anyone else right now, and like I'm really like excited to see you, like, and I'm liking what we're doing, and then compliment him. Like, what do you like about kind of having him in your life? Men need to know too, and women.
I love that. That's a good way of getting them to say it. It sets it right. It doesn't make them feel a little bit kind of like, okay, are you, uncomfortable or awkward? It's a nice way of getting the answer. And it lets both of you guys know where you stand. What are we? Let's move forward. Are we ending it now? Wasting each other's time? What's happening? I love that. Love that.
Yes.
So I want to get into, our listeners right now are probably wondering, especially about ghosting. That's a big one. A lot of people, I've had friends that's been ghosted. So
Yeah.
I want to ask a little bit about that. So why do people ghost after a great date? I've personally been ghosted and I was just like, what the heck?
Yeah. I think like sometimes like if you feel like you had a great date, it's happened to all of us, right? And you feel like it went well, but yeah, there was something, man, maybe they didn't want to hurt your feelings at the end and say, "Oh, I don't want to go out again." So you could message them and you're not really getting responses quickly enough. People always have their phone. So if you're not getting the replies quickly, that's kind of a sign that they're not that into you. But I think you need to ask the questions you want answers to, like, how did you enjoy the date? Would you be open to going out again? And that's what
Yeah.
I has to be open and honest and be like, I had a nice time on the date, but I just wasn't feeling a romantic connection. So I think the number one thing why people ghost is they don't want to hurt your feelings. They don't want to be the bad guy. So when you are, but it's best to be open and honest and say it in this way. Like, you're really awesome. You deserve someone that, appreciates you. Like, I just wasn't feeling that romantic energy, but I'd love to hang out with you again as a friend. Maybe that's too much, but maybe maybe that doesn't work for you, but it's a nice exit.
Nah, we're using the F word. We're gonna be friends. Oh,
Well, I mean, yeah, like it's better than saying nothing, right? And then the person's like, well, what happened? Like, it seemed really good.
yeah. Then you just drop that bomb on them. But then why do they circle back months later? They ghost you.
Yeah,
Then they pop up.
well, maybe they thought about you. Maybe, yeah, they could be bored. That's the thing. Like, you don't want to those are called breadcrumbers, right? You don't want to be eating the bread. That's
Mhm.
breadcrumbing, where they drop you little breadcrumbs each month and they check in every now and then, and you're eating the breadcrumbs because you're replying back and you're available whenever they want to come over. But that becomes the situationship because they're getting the girlfriend or boyfriend experience without the commitment.
Ah.
So don't fall into that trap of, acting like the girlfriend and doing all the things, cooking dinner, taking, out, doing all the things, but really there's no status. There's no full commitment. And if he's open and honest with you and says, I don't want a relationship and you're still doing those things, then that's
Yeah.
on you, right? So you had to really set your boundaries and be intentional, like you said, with your time and who you're giving your energy to. There's a lot of vampires out there that will love a nurturing woman because maybe they're a narcissist and they want to suck that energy and they love how you make them feel. But gotta reserve that energy for somebody that's going to validate your feelings and be there for you just as you're showing up for them.
Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. I have a friend that she was in a long-term relationship and it wasn't going anywhere, but eventually it just ended.
Yeah.
And she looked at it as an investment. She's like, I invested so much into this man. She helped him like clean up himself in terms of like getting a job, go back to school, and like
Yeah.
she called it like the cleanup. She really cleaned them up. But for her, he said, I'm not ready for a relationship. And when they broke up, he ended up quickly with someone else.
Oh,
It hurt her so bad. She was like, that's my work with that girl right there. That's all me. I build him.
yeah.
That's it.
We prepared him for his next relationship.
Oh,
So there's a beautiful poem that's out there and the author's unknown, but it's called Are You a Reason, a Season, or a Lifetime?
oh,
And this is great to send to somebody when you have a breakup. And literally, you just copy and paste it and send it. And it's a beautiful exit. So it's like she was in this guy's life for a reason, maybe to help him be a better man, to get his schooling done, all those things you said. Although she wasn't getting a lot out of it, that was the experience, that was their journey. and you just let it go. Thank you for being a part of my life. I was in it for a reason. Maybe it's a season and it's a hot fling and it's a romance and it dies. And then there's the lifetimers that will always be in your life. Even if you break up, you're still bonded, heart to heart. You still always will care and love them. But you're not just with you. You can always love someone and not be with them.
And not be with them. Yep. I strongly believe in that. Yep.
If you love someone, set them free. If they're meant to come back to you, they're yours. If not, then, I talk a lot about dating rejection. It's on my Instagram, like how to deal with dating rejection and letting people go and just being able to say, okay, you're not my person. It's like that Mel Robbins podcast, like, let them. If someone doesn't want you, let them be. Let them do what they do. And you worry about what you can control and manage, right? We need to worry about our own emotions, controlling our own life, and not trying to micromanage everybody else. If someone's unsure about us, let them go. And that has nothing. Go. Bye. Now.
Bye.
Now I need more clarity that that person doesn't want me, so I can focus on somebody that does want me.
That does.
Right? You got to make the space for the right person.
Mm.
The more you latch on to the maybes or the I don't knows, time wasters. Right? And I know we get sucked into the situationships and the ideas of what if, or what if he changes his mind.
Exactly.
Men don't change their minds.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Let them go. You have to be able to just control what you can and just know that everything happens for a reason. I know that it stings afterwards, just that it's a little, you get that feeling just like, ugh.
Yeah.
That's what we went through for the longest time. We're like, oh my gosh.
You're going to go through all the emotions, the anger, the resentment, the sadness, the crying, the, feeling sick, like all of it. And that's like the breakup, right? But in the end, you're coming out stronger and you're making space for somebody that's, it's almost like a weight's off your shoulder. Like when you find out someone doesn't want you, it's like, okay, I got my clarity. I'm not thinking and wandering and over obsessing and, asking ChatGPT, like getting the answer straight from the horse's mouth. So listen to that and take it in and say, hey, I appreciate you, and respond like a mature woman. Thank you for me. Thank you for the time we shared and the experience. I learned a lot. I learned what I want, what I don't want. And that's great. If you don't want to be with me, I understand. We're going to go our separate ways.
Exactly. Love that. Love that. Write it down, ladies. That's how you exit a clean exit. Take it as a lesson and move on.
And no, everything is an experience and learning. The more you date, the more you're in a relationship, you're getting closer to that right person. We have to experience breakups. We have to experience pain so that we can love again and be vulnerable and not fear. That's life.
It's part of the process. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's part of the process. I want to get into a little game with you as we wind down, wrapping it up here.
Okay.
It's called Date 'em or Dump 'em.
Oh, wow.
You're going to tell me, I'm going to call out a few scenarios to you, and you tell me date 'em or dump 'em based on what I tell you, It's just a few dating scenarios, but you got to answer quickly, though. That's the thing with the game. You can't be thinking. You got to just hear it and be like, date 'em, dump 'em. All right, here we go. They still text their ex every week.
Dump them.
Ooh.
There's no reason they need to be texting their ex unless they have children or dogs involved.
Okay. Animals. You heard that one.
Their dogs, from a breakup. But there's no need to be texting an ex. An ex is an ex for a reason. Okay.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right. They live with their parents at 35.
You could still date them. Maybe they're saving up for a house. It doesn't mean they're going to be a bad partner. Yeah, I wouldn't rule that out.
Don't rule that one out. That's true. That's a good answer. They asked to split the bill on the first date.
Dump them.
Oh.
I mean, no one should be going Dutch on a first date. I'm not saying you have to buy her a steak dinner, but especially if it's a coffee date, you want to treat her. Yeah.
I was not expecting that. You see? Oh my God.
Yeah.
We split the bill. Oh no, you got to go.
No.
All right.
You know,
They
my
reply.
to get ready and do her hair and makeup and get that over.
I can split the bill.
Yeah. And you know what? It'll come back to you. Maybe she'll say, hey, I got lunch next time, or I for a nightcap. I always teach women too, like offer a nightcap at the end. I'm not saying she needs to always have free meals and free everything. You take turns, but that first date, you want to impress her and you want to court her and be a man and take care of it. You know, take care of it.
It's true. All right. They reply after 2 days. Like you text them and you don't get no response until 2 days later. Are we dumping them or dating them?
I mean, don't dump them just yet, because if it's a reoccurring thing and they're always waiting 2 days, then I think you need to bring that up and be like, and communicate that you want, you know, more verbal texting and more communication. But you never know. Someone could be on a plane. They could be, you know, something could have happened. So give people the benefit of the doubt.
No.
If that behavior continues, then you ask them.
You have to have the talk. Yeah. Communication there is very important. Very important.
Yeah.
They have no social media.
Oh, I think that's fine. Date them.
That's a green flag.
Some women actually like that.
Yeah, you're not on social media. You're not out there. Okay, that's good.
They're not creeping all the hot Insta models.
All right. They want marriage after 2 months.
Oh, that's
2 months. Okay, 2 months.
I mean, I've heard people sometimes get engaged after 6 weeks. Like, I mean, 2 months is a little early. I would just chill. Yeah. You're still like learning who this person is and stuff.
All right. They've been single for 10 years.
10? Yeah, that could be something. You have to ask yourself, do you want to get involved with that, with someone that maybe has no dating experience?
I was just thinking that.
It's up to you.
Yeah.
But for me, I'd probably be like, I wouldn't want to engage.
I would, yeah, that's a bit long.
Yeah.
The gap is a little wide there for me.
Yeah, 10 years is a lot. Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot. All right. They say, I'm bad at texting.
Okay, then how would you like to communicate? Do you want to have a phone chat? So you got to fire that back to them and say, well, let's talk on the phone then. No excuse. Yeah, no excuse about it. Yeah.
Okay, they still follow every ex online.
Well, first of all, how would you know who all their exes are?
Yeah.
That's a bit like stalkerish too. But if they do follow them, like, what can you do? You're not going to be controlling and possessive. You have to be confident in who you are and know that he's with you now and not with her.
Not with her.
So, yeah, what he does, let them, as long as it doesn't affect your own relationship and he's not being, he's not cheating on you or hurting you or being disrespectful. Okay. But maybe, yeah. I mean, social media, everyone follows everybody.
It's true. They still keep in touch with everyone and they see what's going on in their lives. So you just have to know where you stand in their life currently.
And be confident. And try not to make it a big deal.
Yeah. And last, their profile says just vibing.
Oh, is that on like where would they put that, on Facebook or something?
Yeah, on a dating app. Are we like,
just vibing?
Yeah, what is it? Vibing just means basically they're just down for anything, really.
Yeah, I don't think that's serious. So it sounds like they just want to be casual, like just looking to hook up, or no. As soon as people say, send me pictures, hook up, all that stuff.
Yeah.
They're not into that
category. Yeah.
Yeah. Next.
Yes. Thank you for playing that little game. I really like that. That let me check mark, put a little red flag or a little heart beside what was in and what was not. I want to ask a few more questions about deeper love. Do you believe everyone has a soulmate?
I believe we have many soulmates through our world, throughout our lifetime.
Many.
Yes, I believe you can have more than one.
Really?
Yes. I don't believe.
Usually when they say soulmate, I'm thinking that's it. There's only one.
I think you can have more than one. That's just my personal, you could love someone 5 years ago and they were your soulmate, and then you could find your next husband that's your soulmate.
Mhm.
So a soulmate is like, that deeper soul that really connects with you, that you always love and care about deep in. But like you said, you've let them go. It didn't work out, but they were still part of being your soulmate journey. I just don't think that we have, and when we walk around always saying, I'm looking for my soulmate, I'm looking for that one person, that's where the pressure comes in. And that's where sometimes it can paralyze you because you're looking for this perfect specimen. It doesn't always exist.
Mhm.
So your soulmate could even be your pet or a family member or a friend.
Yeah.
Your best friend could be your soulmate. It's just not a romantic soulmate.
Soulmate. And you're not looking at it like that. Yeah.
Hey, soulmate, it's like they know your soul. They know your secrets. They know you for who you are. They love you, the good, the bad. They know all of you. That's a soulmate to me. Someone that, will always be in your heart.
I like that. I've never looked at it like that. That is different walks of life. You may have that soulmate 5 years ago, your current husband coming up. I like that concept.
Yeah.
Really nice. How important is timing in love? Time is everything.
I believe, yes, our time is important, but I believe that you can find love at any time in your life. My mother got married, her second marriage at 51. She's still with, her husband, Henry, and super in love and happy. So you can find love at 60, 40, 30. It's less about, worrying about the clock ticking and, oh my God, I'm never going to meet somebody.
Yeah.
And change your language and your mindset. I'm now open and worthy of attracting love. I'm ready to open my heart. Not, oh, I'm never going to meet anybody. There's nobody in Toronto. Dating sucks. Negative, negative, negative. Listening. What you put out there, you're going to get back. So you have to walk around like an open heart and be like, hey, I'm ready to meet people. I'm open. I'm not worried about the clock ticking, and just, being intentional and chatting with people and getting to know people and putting yourself out there. That's all you can do. Right. So although your time is important, you figure out, how do I spend it wisely? But you also have to not worry that you're never going to find it or it's never going to show up for you.
Show up. Yeah. Timing is everything. Man, I love that. Love it. Love it.
Yeah. And we're all like growing at different levels. Like there's late bloomers in life. There's, my girlfriend just got engaged at 46. Like we're married at 25. Well, we're all on our different journeys, right? When it happens, it matters. Like it's the right time for you.
It will happen. It will happen. I hope my girls are taking notes and listening and enjoying this one, because a lot of them are in this category, in this boat, where they just feel like it's not going to happen for me. It's not going to happen for me. It's not going to happen for me. So.
And it happens when you least expect it. And stuff does happen. Like I've even had interviews with people where they've had a barbecue on the weekend and met somebody right after we did the matchmaking consultation. So even sitting with me and giving energy to love and talking about that's you manifesting. That's you like taking the time to think about dating and what you want, and not just like, so that whole hour during the consultation is so important. Like I've seen crazy stuff happen after that. Yeah.
Oh, that. And that leads me into a segment of our show that I like to call Good Things Are Coming. This is the segment of our show where I leave my listeners and viewers with a positive affirmation to help them get through the week. So I'm going to drop a little Good Things Are Coming, and then Shannon is going to drop a little Good Things Are Coming as well.
Mm-hmm.
Good things are coming because love is not late. You are not behind. You do not have to settle because you feel lonely. Healthy love still exists. All right, Shannon, drop a little good things are coming.
So I guess I could say, since spring into love, continue to love yourself, love the person that you're evolving into, love, give your love and energy to the relationships you already have so that you're practicing your loving skills and being vulnerable and open. And also, keep your eyes open to wherever you go, your physical space, and be that flower. You could be a flower or you could be a rose with thorns. Do you want to reject or do you want to bloom and let somebody see your petals?
Ah, that should be on a t-shirt. I love that right there. That was nice. Look at you. Hold on.
Yeah. It's funny. I always talk about the flower or the rose. I don't know why. It's like I'm a visual person. I think about things, right? So you want to like bloom and just be open and remove your
Yeah. I love that. Very, very positive. Shannon, tell us what's next for you. What are you working on? Do you have a book out? Are you working on a book? I feel like authorish.
Oh, yes. I should work. I should work on a book. I'm actually working on doing some also like other events as well, like less nightclubs and more like bowling or more like yoga events, like activity dates for singles.
Yeah.
I'm working on. I'd love to do more interviews. I'm actually setting up a radio host tomorrow and trying to find him a match. So yeah, I'm always doing kind of fun stuff with media and getting out there and continuing to grow my singles network and really help people get married and find the love of their life. So yeah, I've, each year just keeps getting, busier and busier. So I'm very grateful for that. And as you can tell from the interview, I love love. I love passionate about.
I got that vibe. Yep. I got that vibe. Tell people where they can find you. Is there a website, your social media handle for my listeners, viewers, if they want to like get connected with that match?
Sure. Yeah, they can follow me, Shanny in the City, on Instagram. I have a Facebook page, Shanny in the City, and my website is shannyinthecity.com. So SHANNY inthecity.com. I've been around for a long time. I know the city. I'm a downtown matchmaker. So yeah, if you ever need any dating support or help or want to pick my brain, I'm always available for in-person or consultations over Zoom. So I really enjoyed our interview, Monie, and thank you so much for interviewing me. It was a pleasure.
Thank you for making the time because it's just something that's been just on my mind. And I'm just thinking, dating in Toronto, who's the expert? And I've seen your profile, I've seen your work and seen what you're doing. I'm like, gotta get Shannon. We gotta get Shannon. We gotta get Shannon. Thank you. Thank you for making it work. Virtual or not, the information that you've dropped with us today, the conversation was honest and fun and incredibly needed, very much needed. So I know a lot of singles are leaving this episode feeling seen and hopefully a little less stressed.
Well, yeah, a little more inspired.
Yeah, more inspired, especially, about dating and so forth. So really thank you for taking the time to give us the information and for being here.
Thank you.
And to everyone watching, like, comment, subscribe. Shannon's information is going to be in the bottom in her comments, so you can visit her, check out her page, make that connection, and check out her services. All right. So thanks again for watching the Monie Podcast. Remember, good things are coming. Bye for now. Yay! All right.
That was good. Good job. Yeah.
No, you were good. That was really good stuff. But you do this all the time. So you're like, yeah.
Well, I just talk. I blabber. But no, it was fun. I really enjoyed it. You had great questions and it was like, it was like in depth, like, it got emotional. It was in depth. I feel like people, when they listen to this,
they're going to feel it.
They're going to be like, oh, this is.
Yes.
Yeah.
And most of the questions came from my girlfriends. I was telling them who I have. And they're like, you got to ask her this. Like the one with the girl that said, she left her boyfriend and then we went on to a new girl. I was like, okay, I'm going to ask her. And how you answered that, I felt that would really, really help her. Oh my gosh.
just helping her let go, right? Like I'm also a life skills coach. So sometimes my life coaching goes into dating coaching and matchmaking. Like it's all intertwined, right? But yeah, I actually have like a full post on my Instagram about dating rejection and like how to like build up like stronger dating rejection skills almost, right? Because
so that you don't take it so rough, because she's in therapy for it, and it really broke her. She was just like, what the heck happened? So yeah, that was a really good one. So most of the questions came from my girls, and I feel this episode will help a lot of people. So thank you so much. Thank you again. Thank you for adjusting your time for me. I shouldn't have done it like that, but I was like, oh my gosh. But
I still gotta make dinners. I gotta make my salmon. I'm like, but sometimes when you don't eat, you're like more focused, right? You're just like sharper because you're not full and like tired.
Exactly. Same with me. That helps a lot. Really appreciate it. Thank you again, Shanny. And yeah, we'll definitely connect again.
Okay, thanks so much, Monie.
Yes. Have a good evening.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Say hi to your friends.
Yes, I will.
Okay.
Bye.